Hi there, it's Lone Wolf Wolf Territories Grid, and boy am I excited. So we have had a grid update that basically was actually moving from mono to .NET. So if you don't know what that is, don't worry. And we now have PBR textures, PBR landscapes. If you want to use them, you don't have to use them, of course. So I'm on a region here. This is actually a PBR test region that I've got. It's on Wolf Territories Grid. Please come and do it. But before we get started with the tuition, and I'm going to teach you how to just do some basic stuff with PBR. I'm not going to do anything very technical. This is like the first one. I'll probably do a few different talks. I know I'm doing a tech talk later in the year about PBR and how to do it, but this is like very, very basic. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at doing a PBR texture and getting some textures from a website, making the files you need and uploading them. You will need the latest version of Firestorm for this because it has some extra bits and pieces in it. We'll have a look at that in just a moment. But first of all, let's get started. So I'm going to show you some different things. So let me just twizzle around here. Twizzle around, Lone. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to make a quick box. Sorry about this weird hanging thing. It's just normally I'm not on this computer, so I'm going to make a box. This is a PBR can, and I'm going to go to texture. You'll see there's this loads of stuff. That's the old textures. There you can see it's wood. If I make that blank, for instance, and if I make it shiny, you'll see even this will look different to the standard shininess. If I use, we could do a kind of PBR with this. With the glossiness and environment, everything like that. And there is another video if you want to do this simple stuff on my there's another video on my YouTube channel. Just search for texturing, for doing advanced texturing without doing all this stuff. Okay, we have noticed that a lot of places, even with even the places like the main welcome area, even that looks completely different in this viewer, and that's because it does mirroring and reflections and all kinds of things. And I know that, so anything you see on saying Second Life PBR or anything like that, you can actually use that on our grid. It all works the same, okay, with Firestorm. With this new version of Firestorm, we have noticed some people have been having issues. For me, I had to clear the cache completely. In fact, I uninstalled any other Firestorms. I had completely cleared my cache, completely rebooted, and it seems to have settled down now. But I was having all kinds of trouble with it when I was teleporting and things like that, but it does seem to have settled down, and I don't know whether that's because of what was left on my machine from the last version or whatever. So huge shout out to OpenSimNGC. If you want this stuff on your grid, switch over to OpenSimNGC. You can Google it. I'm going to put a load of links in this video anyway for those who more tickets update. Okay. I'll deal with that ticket later on. So yeah. So you can upgrade to OpenSimNGC on your own grid, and there are some ifs and buts and maybe. So it's worth joining the OpenSimNGC Discord group if you need any help. But I don't know about different versions and when they're going to catch up. So this is running on the very latest OpenSim. It was like released yesterday evening, I think, and we basically rolled it out across the grid, which is a lot of servers, about 29,000 Second Life regions in size. So you can imagine it's quite a job, plus all the robust servers. We have 30 robust servers running through an Nginx control panel. So that's enough of that. That's enough of this. So, and also just a little note that I'm going to be doing more tech talks about different things. I'm going to be doing tech talks about moving your company off premise onto the cloud and whether it's a good idea and how you can end up with a huge bill you weren't expecting. But that's another story. So back to PBR. So this video really is very, very basic PBR messing around, okay? And what we're going to try and do is we're going to get some snow PBR, and we're going to put it on this mountain, and then I'm going to try and use it in another place. So what I've got is there's a website here called freepbr.com, okay? And they have lots, and I've chosen this Rocky Snow and Ice. They've got others as well. And they do have a thing where you can support them and send them some cash if you want to. Oh, except that page cannot be found. But anyway, so if we go to the home page, there are PBR textures for just about everything. Okay, but the problem is that these are just, so there's like a wood one here. scorched wood, charcoal. There's just zillions of them, and you can buy it at 500 for $16. I'll probably do that. But the problem with this is they're not in the right format to upload to the grid. Okay, so what basically happens is if you download one of these, I'll go to the latest PBR uploads. Let's pick one. Ash tree bark. Okay, let's just try this one. So if I download one of these, I know you're all going to be surprised that I'm using Windows, and there is a reason for that. I got this new laptop. It's an Acer Duo, but it won't run Linux at the moment. We haven't got the drivers. It's too new. Okay, Ash tree bark. So I'm going to just click on that. I'm going to go open and download it. I do actually run Linux on this in the background as part of Windows. It's a sort of Franken Linux computer. Anyway, so we're just going to download that real quick. Now, while I'm doing that, so what you also need is there's a tool called a GTLF Packer, and it's a free tool. Here's the website. What I'll do is I'll put that in there. There we go. That's downloaded now. So I'm just going to extract that. Extract all to downloads. Yeah. Files. Just going to do that. Extract that. Like that. Okay, that's cool. So that's extracted. Now I think this will probably run under wine because it's pretty straightforward. Now all I have to do is go into a hole here and just drag one of these on, like this. I just drag one of these files onto here and let go. It'll actually pull all the other files from this folder. Okay, so in this case it's ash tree bark. Kind of doesn't look right, but it probably will look fine when it's actually in world. So we're going to do this one first. So I'm going to call this in fact what I'm going to do, let me just close no, I'll leave that open. Okay, so I'll show you one I prepared earlier using this technique. So that I've saved it out, and if I go to my into my Firestorm now, so I've saved out the GTL whatever it's called file. So technical. I was going to explain to you what PBR stands for. It stands for physically based rendering, and the idea is that it uses, you can see this is actually PBR terrains here, and you can see the way the light shines on them is very different to standard terrains. So let me just upload, sorry, I'm being a bit sort of material. You see this is a new thing on the menu. You need the new Firestorm viewer to be able to do that. And upload material, and I'm going to go into downloads where I had that file, and rock, snow, ice, I think it's that one, which I seem to have in 2 folders, and you can see that they're rock, I've GTLF. So I'm going to open that and just wait a second, and it's sort of hangs the viewer for some reason sometimes. Just wait a second. So there you can see it's actually picked it up there, and it says there's no upload fees. Okay, and then I hit save like this. It says uploading rock, snow, ice. Waiting for a second. Okay, so now that's uploaded. Now that file, rock, snow, ice, is in my materials folder, which is here. So you'll notice that you'll have a new folder in your inventory called materials. Now remember that this is only on grids where PBR is supported. So don't be surprised if you log into your local grid and it's got quite an old version of OpenSim, because this is very new. All right, and the work that the NGC guys and the Firestorm team have done is incredible. So I'm going to start off with just a simple object. I wanted to go to PBR, and what I'm going to do is just show you how this works. I'm just going to drag that material and drop it there. Okay, and you see it's loading. Give it a second. So it's loaded the rock, snow, ice texture onto this. There it goes. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. I'm going to have a look at it. So at the moment, if we look at it, stretch it out a little bit, and we can mess around with it. So we can make it opaque, so we can make the roughness much higher, and it doesn't look a lot different to a normal thing. Some of them will work better than others, to be honest. So I don't know whether there's, now this is something else you'll see, is that when it loads it up, okay, it loads up all the textures into your inventory as well. So you can see that. So I can also do things like I can actually use different things. So here I've used a grass displacement on it, and this makes it look a bit rougher, doesn't it, and a bit more shiny. And then what I can do is actually save it back to my inventory. So So you can actually, this is one of the really amazing things about it, is you can take a standard pack of materials like this and actually customize it and save it as something else. So I've made that a bit more. Now what I'm going to do, which is a bit more interesting, obviously it's not much fun on a box, is it? So if I was doing some mesh, perhaps it would be interesting. You can see this can has got stuff on it. Let's take this box back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my region settings. Now, because this terrain, so if we go to terrain, you see the terrain here is PBR. Now, I'm going to set the top two to be my modified rock, snow, and ice with more of the, there we are, and there we are. Okay, and I'm just going to drag it over there, and that one as well. Apply. Okay, now we'll wait a second. Okay, so now you can see my rock, snow, and ice modified. And you see I've given it a little bit more roughness. And it looks much more realistic than a standard, your standard thing. It looks a bit funny from a distance, doesn't it? And that's probably because it's not really seamless in a very good way. So we might have to do some work on the actual image. But what I can do is I can pull up this, okay, and I could then actually change this image. All the uploads, I will just say now, obviously, if you used to certain other places, other grids will charge for uploads. Wolf Territories grid, we don't charge for uploads, and our regions start at about £10 a month. So that was that really. That's how to get started with PBR. So you can just download. So just to summarize it all, so you can find. So in fact, let's do the tree bark. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clear. Clear. Okay, it's still got the snow there, I think. Clear. Well, that doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to close it and reopen it. And it's in my... You have to... Oh, just a little note is with it is you have to extract it. So, see... Oh, I love Linux. I wish I could run Linux on this. I will spend some time on it actually at some point. GCLF packet. Okay, so you have to extract it and then just run it. And when you run it, Windows will go. Sorry about that. When you run it, if I actually run the application rather than the configuration file, when you run it, Windows for the first time will go, "You're incredibly naughty," and this is obviously pirated, terrible software. So just do more and ignore it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and do that. Let's do the tree bark and see how that looks. So I'm going to go to my file manager where I extracted the tree bark. Ash tree bark, here it is, okay. And I'm just going to drag any of them. Oh. I'm just interested to which one is the normal one. What's that one? You may have to rename these so it picks it up, okay, but I just double clicked on that. It's probably going to load GIMP now. Yes, it is. Yeah, so that is actually the so we'll drag that onto there. That's the base color. There you go. So that's actually all there, and I think it's got it all. Okay, so, and I'm going to hit save. Now, when I hit save in the same folder, there you go, GTLF textures, and in a second it'll write the file. It says please wait here, so we'll just wait for it to finish. Don't be rushing ahead, because until it's written that file, so when it says doesn't say please wait anymore, it's ready. What I'm going to do is probably tomorrow I'll make a little box of these PBR things for you to get started with. Okay, there's the GTLF file, there's the textures that we need. Okay, so I'm just going to close that. We're going to do build, upload, material, and I'm going to go to downloads, Ash Bark files, Ash Bark, and there's the GTLF files I need to upload. So hit open, like that. I'll just wait for a second. Notice it kind of freezes. I don't worry about that. It's fine. You'll see it appear in my materials in a second. Okay, there we go. So it's uploaded it all. I'm going to hit save. I'm not doing anything to this. This was just downloaded straight from the website. So what it's doing now is it's uploading the pictures as well. So now we've got Ash Bark. So I'm going to make a cylinder, obviously. This is very basic, okay? But you can see how you can actually create your own things. Let's just click on that. Materials, Ash Bark. Okay. We'll stretch it out a little bit more so you can see it. Now you can see how it's actually more You see how it actually looks rough, doesn't it? You see how it actually looks quite rough, and it looks like bark of a tree with the same. It's huge, but you can also do other things like I can make. It's supposed to be really. It's not very metallic because it's bark, obviously, but you can see it's a much nicer texture than you normally find, and it looks 3D as well. See that? It looks a bit 3D. So let me just see if there's other settings I could do. So you can actually, and then you can mess with it as you want. I haven't got a bark texture, so it's got a maximum of 1 there. Yeah, you can mess around with it, obviously. See how things change. It's not making much change at all, is it? Yeah, none of this is making much difference at all. Okay, that's the old. So what you also might want to do is set this as well. That there, so it's the same. Go back to your normal. This is just to make sure that if someone hasn't got the browser, that they get to see the bark. There you go. Yeah, so that's it. That's a basic start to PBR textures. So thanks very much, everybody. I'm going to put tomorrow. I'm going to make some more materials and things up, probably some from that website and things, and put them in a box at our Welcome Mountain. So just go to Wolf Territories Welcome Mountain and have a little explore. You should see it actually with the PBR thing on. It's amazing, but we haven't actually done any PBR textures. So yeah, so this is day 1 of exploring this. I don't know what else I'm going to find. I'm probably going to build some more videos along the way that you can watch, but it's really powerful stuff. There are issues at the moment, I think, with the viewer, and I know with this one, like I've only got 17 FPS, but this laptop's got a bit of a rubbish graphics card in it. I've got another one that's got a really good graphics card in it, which I use normally. So yeah, I'm going to go back to my IMs. You see, I'm being IM'd like crazy. Always being IM. World's Fair region is unavailable. I'll go and have a look. Okay, thanks very much. Have a lovely, lovely day. That's Lone Wolf signing off.